I recently watched the 2020 anime Keep Your Hands Off Eizouken. It's a brilliant piece of work with an incredible blend of humor, pathos, and raw aesthetic appeal, and a refreshing style that presents daring, unique designs to soothe your soul in the eternal desert of generic seasonal trash we're all eternally trapped in, but that's beside the point. The most important thing that Eizouken did, at least for me, was remind me why I make videos. My whole life I've loved the idea of making art of some kind, but I've struggled to find inspiration. I can't really pull ideas out of the air the way some people seem to be able to. I get lost in the blank canvas unless I have something to guide me. This is why I've gravitated toward criticism. It's useful to have the work I'm talking about as a firm piece of ground to jump off of, a territory to explore, orienting myself by its landmarks instead of trying to construct my own out of the endless sand. But even this I've fallen off of in recent years. Undeniably, this is due to the uncertain realities of trying to support myself in this modern era. My video dry spell coincided with the period in which I was living in a terrible house with a huge amount of financial pressure placed on me proportional to my income and abilities, while also dealing with an unwanted freeloader and trying, mostly failing, to come to terms with my gender identity. I've never stopped thinking and talking about what makes art cool to me, but I just didn't have it in me to make anything of it beyond off-the-cuff Twitter threads. I've been trying to fix that lately, spurred on by my Space Patrol Luluco video sort of popping off in the past year, but it's been slow going and I've had trouble finding a really strong motivation. I've mostly just been playing video games and watching anime in between desperately trying to get my life in order and my self-image out of dangerous territory. It looked like this was how things would be for a while until I watched the most recent anime in that viewing list, Eizouken, which managed to strike a chord with the part of me that desperately wants to make things again. I'm a bit predisposed toward self-indulgent, introspective metatextual art by default. It's unavoidable. When my primary passion is analyzing artistic output, it's difficult not to appreciate art which exists to make an analytical statement about itself or its creator. It's almost a sort of comfort food, work that critiques itself in a way that I can easily translate into plain English. I'm just fascinated with it, and with artists, and what art as a practice means to the artist. Eizouken is very much that, but with an angle that's particularly useful for me. It focuses on the difficulties and joys of the artistic process itself, how animators have to suit their project to the available resources and work around what they have while still maintaining what they feel to be the core of the piece, and the particular bittersweet satisfaction of actually finishing a project and putting it out. Asakusa and Mizusaki love what they do, but they hate the fact that practical concerns stop them from making it everything they think it could be. It's always great to release a finished work and get the reassuring positive feedback to let you know that it's not just a waste, that people actually do care about this thing you're spending your time on, but at the same time it's impossible not to look at your own work and just see all the little imperfections you wanted to fix but couldn't. Once it's done, it's done. Everything that's wrong with it always will be. The finality is crushing, but at the same time it's very freeing. Once you've decided to be done with a project, or as is the case in the show, reach the deadline, you don't have to worry about it anymore. You can take what you learn from it into the next piece and try to avoid the same mistakes, but you're doing so from a different angle, in a different context, instead of bashing your head against the exact same problem for another month. It's a feeling I'm familiar with, but I'd sort of forgotten it. I'd forgotten the relief of finally uploading a complete video and the elation when somebody notices a part I'd put special effort into. I'd forgotten the pensive calm that comes with giving up on that particular edit that's not quite there, but is good enough. I'd forgotten how refreshing it is to move on to the next project knowing that the previous one is completely out of your hands. The past 3 years have been such a hellish ordeal of self-recognition and forcible growth, I'd entirely lost the reasons I make videos in the first place. And Eizouken gave them back to me. So while it's great that the show looks gorgeous and the characters are charming and believable and the tone is at once adventurous and comfy, I don't think I can write much about all that stuff because none of it hits me as deeply as the important reminder of why art is actually kinda cool and worthwhile that got me back into the swing of making podcasts and videos. I understand that this might not be the most interesting or exciting analysis for some of you. This video is nothing if not self-indulgent, but that's kind of the point, isn't it? Why should I make videos if I'm not indulging myself? I'm here because I get something out of doing this, and what I get out of it is a chance to write and talk about what these shows and games make me feel, what they mean to me. As much as I love all the aspects of this show that every other reviewer will talk about, right now what I need to appreciate most about it is that it reminded me why I bother.